Welcome to Storytellery, a channel for those who cherish traditional family values and condemn betrayal in love. Don't forget to hit subscribe as we delve into tales of love and loyalty. Let's get started. The story. The luxurious room buzzed with lively chatter, occasionally punctuated by the soft clinking of glasses. The business party was in full swing, the atmosphere electric. I found myself swept up in the flow, laughing and mingling with friends, fully immersed in the vibrant energy of the evening. A few glasses of wine had loosened me up, making me more cheerful and carefree. The noise of the crowd only seemed to heighten my excitement. On the periphery of the scene, Victor, my husband, stood quietly observing from a distance. He never liked noisy parties. Victor was a man who cherished simple joys, preferring a quiet evening to the chaos of events like this. But I, caught up in the whirlwind of the night, hardly noticed his solitude, or perhaps I deliberately ignored it. My group of friends gradually shifted into a playful mood, exchanging lighthearted jokes. One of them teased about how husbands are always under their wives' thumb. Without much thought, I burst out laughing and joined in. My laughter was loud and exaggerated, almost over the top. Then I made a biting joke about Victor. My words, sharp as a knife, cut through the air. My friends erupted in laughter, and for a fleeting moment, I felt an intoxicating sense of attention, oblivious to the hurt I had just inflicted. Now, as I look back, I see everything clearly. Victor's posture stiffened, his face briefly clouded with sadness. His shoulders slumped, bearing the weight of my betrayal. Moments later, as Victor walked toward me, I forced a strained smile, hoping he hadn't heard what I just said. But his eyes, neither angry nor accusatory, held a deep sorrow that stopped me in my tracks. "We need to talk," Victor said softly, his voice unsettlingly calm. Without waiting for a response, he turned and walked out of the room. I stood there, surrounded by the lively chatter and laughter, but everything felt muted. I knew this wasn't just a conversation. I found him on the balcony, the dim light casting a somber glow on his contemplative face. A gentle breeze stirred his shirt, and he stared into the distance, not with the tender gaze I once knew, but with the look of a man burdened by pain. "Victor, I'm sorry," I began, struggling to explain. "I didn't mean it. I just got caught up in the moment." He turned to face me, his eyes filled with sadness but devoid of the warmth they once held. "Anna, this isn't the first time," he said quietly. His voice was steady, but each word hit me like a hammer. "I've let it slide so many times, thinking you didn't mean it, thinking you'd change. But you don't see it, do you? You don't see how much you've hurt me." I stood there, speechless, unable to offer any defense. He was right. This wasn't the first time. I had made hurtful remarks at his expense before, seeking laughs or attention, without considering the pain I caused. Victor sighed, his gaze drifting back to the horizon. "Anna, I used to love you so much, the genuine, kind person I met in that cafe years ago. But now, I'm not sure if that person is still there. And I don't know if I have the strength to keep enduring this." His words cut through me like a dagger. I wanted to say something, to beg him not to leave. But Victor had already turned away, leaving me alone under the night sky. I sat by myself in the empty living room, the dim light casting shadows over memories of our past. I replayed every detail. The way he smiled when we first met, the love in his eyes on our wedding day, the nights we spent talking about our dreams. I had lost him, not because of one mistake, but because of years of thoughtlessness. I realized that love isn't just about the vows we make at the beginning. It's about the little things we do every day to nurture it. Now, as this house feels emptier than ever, I ask myself, is it too late to make things right? I stood there, my legs frozen to the cold wooden floor of the balcony. The night breeze brushed against my face, but all I felt inside was a terrible emptiness. Victor's figure grew smaller as he walked back into the house, leaving me alone with my swirling thoughts. "Don't go," I whispered, but no sound escaped loud enough to stop him. By the time I gathered enough strength to step inside, Victor had already packed the essentials. He stood in the middle of the living room, a small suitcase resting at his feet. I looked at him, wanting to etch his image into my memory, afraid this might be the last time I'd see him in this house. "Victor, I'm truly sorry," I said, my voice breaking. "Please don't leave me. I'll change. I'll fix everything." He looked at me with an expression so gentle, yet so weary, as though he had heard these words too many times before. "Anna," he began, his voice soft but resolute, "I believe that you're truly sorry. But what hurts me the most isn't your jokes or moments of thoughtlessness. It's the feeling that you've drifted away from me a long time ago, and I've become just a shadow in your life." I cried, tears streaming down my face, but Victor didn't come closer to hold me like he used to. He just stood there, silent and still, as though the distance between us had grown too vast to bridge. "You need time to reflect, Anna," he continued, his eyes fixed on the floor. "I need time, too, to find myself again. Maybe this is the only way for both of us to heal." I collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. "No, Victor, I don't need time. I just need you. You're everything to me." He bent down, picked up his suitcase, and walked toward the door. But before crossing the threshold, he turned back to look at me one last time. "You'll always be someone I love, Anna," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "But sometimes love doesn't mean holding on. Take care of yourself. Goodbye." The sound of the door closing echoed through the now empty house. I sat motionless on the couch, overwhelmed by regret and pain. 1 week later, I woke up in a cold, silent house, without the familiar sound of laughter or the smell of coffee Victor used to make each morning. Everything screamed of his absence. I began writing a letter, not to send, but to remind myself of what I had lost. I wrote about the memories we had shared, the love he once gave me, and the pain I had caused. "Victor, if you ever read this, I want you to know that I'm trying to change. Not to win you back, but to become a better version of myself. Whether or not we get another chance, I want you to know that I will always cherish you and the love you gave me. I don't know if Victor will ever come back, but I know I have to change. Not to please someone else, but to ensure I never hurt someone who loves me again." If you found this story thought-provoking, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more meaningful stories.